A bug out bag is great for when you have to evacuate in a moment's notice. But what if the disaster doesn't require you to evacuate, but rather you have to shelter in place or bug in? What if the power goes out due to a storm or civil unrest or worse? What then? In today's video, I'm going to cover a 72-hour kit and what you need to have in it and why it's just as important to have packed as your bug out bag. One of the most critical things that you have to have access to during a disaster is clean, potable drinking water. A lot of times, whatever's going on may impede your ability to turn the faucet on and have water. What if you know a disaster is coming, like an approaching hurricane? You're really not in harm's way, but there's a high likelihood you could lose power. Water is heavy and it takes up a lot of space. So having a bunch of gallons of water sometimes isn't feasible. One of the things you can do, if you know that that disaster is approaching, you can use one of these. This is called a water bob. It's designed to fit in your bathtub, which pretty much every house has a bathtub. This can hold up to 100 gallons of water. You turn on the tap, fill it up, let it sit. If you never have to use it, you just pull the drain and empty it. But if you need it, you've got it. And that's good, clean drinking water to have access to throughout the duration of the disaster. It'll get you a lot farther than having a few gallons of water, which, by the way, you need to have approximately 1 gallon of water per person per day. For 72 hours, you'd have to have 3 gallons of water just for one person. In my house, I've got 5 people. That's a lot of gallons of water. But if I had one of these filled up in the bathtub, I don't have to worry about it. It'll get me through a lot longer than that. If you've used up all of your water that's in your water bob out of your bathtub, you've used all your other drinking water, you might need a way to be able to boil water so it's sanitary to drink. Next, we're going to talk about heat. If the power goes out and it's out for just 24 hours, if the temperatures outside are extremely cold, well, guess what? It's not going to be long before it starts getting cold in the house as well. I recommend that you have a source to heat your house, whether it's one of those small little buddy heaters, or if you see down here, I've got a much larger propane heater. This one's designed for indoor use. It's not going to put off those harmful gases that prevent you from using it inside. Along with having a way to heat your home, you should have a way to be able to cook. If the power's out, your stove's not going to turn on. So having a simple camping stove like this that also runs off the same power source as your heater, that's a great way to be able to cook. Obviously, you wouldn't want to do it in your house. You'd want to do it outside. You got to make sure you have a heater, the fuel to run it, and the right hoses and attachments that you need for that. Let's talk about food. I know a lot of people really prefer the freeze-dried food that lasts forever on your shelf. And I like that, and it has its place. One of the things you have to think about is this uses a lot of water to be able to prepare it. I prefer to have canned foods like what you see in front of you. I've got soups and canned meat. Those are really easy to eat. You don't even have to heat them up in a pinch. So they actually work really well, and that's kind of my first go-to when it comes to emergency preparedness foods, because they're easy to fix, easy to prepare. They don't require any extra heating or cooking. They're ready to go right out of the can. Some other alternatives, ramen or rice and beans, in addition to those dried foods. Those are all great options. The big thing is you need to have some calories to sustain you and your family through the emergency. You don't want to have to deal with anybody when they're hangry and the stresses are high. Having some food on hand can make all the difference in the world. How about electricity? Have you thought about that? Something as simple as a small generator like this with the fuel to run it. Or maybe you've got one of those solar electric powered generators, whether it's to keep your phones charged so you can communicate with your loved ones, or maybe to keep that freezer running so all the food you've got stored in there doesn't go bad. Having the ability to see when the lights are out, that's really critical as well. Something as simple as these small little collapsible lanterns. This one happens to be solar charging. This is an excellent way to be able to sustain having light just by using the power of the sun so that you don't have to go through a whole bunch of batteries to keep lights on in the house. What I've got here is a small little solar collapsible lantern. This one will inflate. I can set it outside as well. It works just the same as this one. It charges up, provides great lighting, but it doesn't require extra batteries. The little Husky light, battery powered. It's got a way to hang the light. I like this option a lot. These are simple little lanterns designed to use small little tea light. One, it puts off a little bit of heat if you need some warmth in the wintertime. If you had a few of these around your house, it would actually help keep the temperature from freezing in your house. I like that it's contained. If anybody bumped it over, it's gonna go out before it catches anything on fire. It's very easy that you can take them from room to room. You can safely hold it by the hook up here without burning yourself, and you don't have to worry about catching anything on fire. Small little LED lights with a battery pack. Obviously I've got batteries, so I could easily put one of these in each room, including the bathrooms, so that I can provide a little bit of ambient lighting. It's easy to see. It's not super bright. If someone needs to go to sleep at night with those on, they can. It doesn't require a lot of power to operate those, and they provide a great source of light when you need it. Of course, you have simple candles like this as well. Just the ability to set a few of these on the table or up on a mantle somewhere, that gives you some great lighting as well. Not super bright, but it definitely works. Protection or self-defense. How do you keep your family and your home safe if it's something like civil unrest? I'll tell you what, my recommendation is a good old shotgun, because nothing like this gets somebody's attention faster to let them know they're about to be on the business end of a bang stick. That gets people's attention and it tells them, hey, this place isn't the place to mess with. Let's move on, let's go somewhere else. Keeps them from messing with you and it keeps your family safe. If you need it, you better have it. Now, I told you that I'd save something for last that you probably haven't thought about. In the event of a true shelter in place, like a chemical emergency where there's being a toxic fume released because there's a fire, like what happened with that battery plant explosion, you've got to have a way to be able to seal up your house, prevent some of those toxic chemicals from coming in while you're waiting for that cloud to pass. Having some good old-fashioned duct tape and having some plastic sheeting like this is critical. I recommend that you have black because it can serve more than one purpose. The black sheeting will also serve to protect you at night when you've got lights on, not tipping off would-be intruders to saying, hey, there's somebody there. They've got power, they've got lights, they probably have other supplies that we can take. Being able to cover your windows and your doors with black plastic, that's the best way to keep your family safe in a shelter-in-place environment when there might be some civil unrest and people who want to take the stuff that you have or do harm to your family. That being said, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What are some things you would put in your 72-hour kit ready to go in the event the power went out or possibly worse? Throw it in the comments, let me know what you think. All in all, having your 72-hour kit packed will give you the peace of mind knowing that you're ready, whether you need to evacuate at a moment's notice with your Evac-Pack and head out the door, or you got to be able to hunker down and wait for the storm to pass. Until next time, keep prepping, keep practicing, and stay safe. American Thrivalist out.